Okay guys, hello and welcome to DSPORT Garage Sale. Now, this is the first time we've ever done anything like this. We are doing a live simulcast right now on YouTube Live, Instagram Live, and what's the other one, guys?
Facebook.
And Facebook Live. Okay, so I don't know which interface you're on watching us right now, but you know, let us know how it works. Hopefully we don't have too many technical difficulties today, but we're glad to hopefully bring some good deals for you guys, some entertainment along the way, and maybe some education talking about the parts and stuff that we have here for our garage sale. Now, a lot of the parts we're going to be talking about today, these are parts that were featured in the magazine, maybe were used only for photography, or maybe it was a part that we tested, or it was a backup part for a project car. So it's a great way to get some really some awesome parts at some great prices, and let's get it kicked off. So first item up is right here, and let me tell you a little bit about it. This is the BorgWarner, let's see, BorgWarner S400 SEX turbocharger. Now this is a 72 millimeter class limit turbocharger. We used this exact turbocharger when we were doing a lot of our B series, 1000 horsepower B series engine builds. And I'll tell you a little bit about the turbo itself. As you would guess, it's a 72 millimeter, which means the inducer size here is 72 millimeter, because a lot of classes and stuff in racing will restrict it to that number. So it's basically BorgWarner made a turbo that would pretty much optimize the performance in that range. So a few features of the turbo. One, you may notice it has only an oil-cooled center section, which makes it easier to put on a lot of different applications. You don't have to worry about running the coolant and stuff to it, like you do with the water-cooled center sections. Typically, most of the time, you're going to run this in a drag race application. With the 2-liter B series that we had, we were making, let's see, get the exact number for you. 2-liter B series, we made 1,050 horsepower at 9,000 RPM with this turbo, this same turbo. And that was at 44 pounds of boost on E85. Once again, if you want to get some more details and see the parts that we're going to be talking about today, go to dsportmag.com/garage sale, and you can kind of see the interface. It's something new we're trying. We're outside our own offices today, enjoying the nice weather, and basically, so let me tell you a little bit more about the turbo, and we'll get on to the next item. So far, any questions about the turbo? This one here is a brand new one. This is brand new. This was our backup one, which we never got to using. And this is one with the larger turbine housing. I believe this is the 1.25 turbine housing. As you can see, it's a twin scroll T4 flange. So it's perfect for any twin scroll application that's T4. That'll bolt right up to that. Be a great turbo for like a Supra, if it's a kind of a street car type deal, as opposed to a 2-liter. You're going to pretty much, this is a full drag race deal for something like that. We've got some good information too on the site there, telling you kind of what you might expect as far as where the boost might come in. When we had it with this turbine housing, we didn't get full boost to 7,800. Now there's smaller turbine housings. There's, I believe, a 1.1 available, and when we switched to that dropped it to bringing in the boost at 6,800. And those turbine housings, you can find those on eBay for about 160 bucks new. Buy it now price on this is just $700 complete. So a turbo make over 1,000 horsepower for you for $700 bucks. You're not going to find a better deal than that. All right, and we'll just wait about 10 more seconds if there's any more questions about this turbo before we move to the next item up for bids.
And if anybody doesn't like certain connections, they can go to the next platform. Sometimes it, you know, goes back and forth.
Yeah, guys, if you're having any problems on the connection that you're on, if you're on Instagram Live or YouTube Live or whatever it is, Facebook Live, if it's not working too well, try one of the other ones and see how that works. Eventually, we'll probably narrow it down to just using 2 of these, unless we just are getting equal audiences on all of them, then we'll probably keep it up, but it's a little bit crazy having them, but I guess it's a backup plan. All right, so Basson, can we get this one off of here? And while we're in the mood for boost, let's get some intercooled boost up here. Let's take a look at that engine intercooler. Now the garage sale, the actual auction side is going to end, I believe, is it Sunday?
Sunday at 10.
Sunday
10
at
p.m.
10 a.m.?
p.m.
10 p.m. Okay, Sunday at 10 p.m. So there's both some buy it now pricing on there, I believe, right? There's buy it now,
Yeah.
and then it's auction style. And we're trying this one not going through eBay to make it so we can afford to sell it to you guys cheaper. We're trying it out. If it really sucks, we might go to eBay and do it through that. So it's just a little bit of a try it out here. So perfect. I lost the connection. Joe, see if you can get me back on there. All right. So let's talk about this intercooler. This is an engine intercooler. This is for the new Civic
10th gen.
10th gen Civic, the non-SI edition, right? Is that correct?
I just found out that's actually for both. It's for non and SI versions.
Okay, so both for the SI and non-SI. Complete one here. We used it on a test and tune where we tried a couple different components on a car. And as soon as we get back on, I can tell you what the price is. But it's a pretty damn thick core. It looks like it's a bar and plate design, not a tube and fin. So it has a not as heavy as I thought it would be, but a nice cast end tank on it. Let's see, buy it now price on this just $280 on this. So $280 to get your 10th gen Civic. A little bit of cooler intake charge temperatures. And you know, sometimes on some of the modern cars, you're not going to see the performance gains that we saw on some of the earlier turbocharged cars with the intercooler upgrades. Mainly because the factory ones are a little bit better, and the engine management system works a lot better, so it's not able to, or it doesn't make as big of a difference, especially if you're on E85. But when you're on 91 octane and you increase the size of the intercooler, you're definitely going to be able to run some more boost. And if it's not even running more boost, it's just getting that consistency. A lot of the new cars, when they start getting the hotter intake air temperatures, the intercooler starts heat soaking and starts pulling out timing, and you start losing performance. So even if this didn't make, and I don't remember what it makes, we'll put a link to that article in there. But even if it didn't make a lot of horsepower compared to the stock one, when you're doing just a back-to-back run, when you do multiple runs, and if you're tracking the car, anything like that, aftermarket intercooler is definitely going to help. It'll specifically fit the 2016 to 2020 standard Civic and Civic Si. So there you guys go. It's TIG welded, and that's about what I can tell you about it. Now all the parts you're seeing here today, they are free local pickup in Fountain Valley, California. And if you're purchasing it, we got to ship it to you. We're not going to make any money on the shipping. You can send us a call tag and ship it, or we can get a quote for you. And we're not going to make any money on shipping for anybody. We just offer that service. So if you have a better shipping deal than we do, please send us a call tag and we can get it off to you after payments received. And I believe all payments are through PayPal. All payments are through PayPal, so you get the PayPal buyer.
We can also charge them with credit card if they want.
What's that?
We can also do a credit card bit, like if they send it, if we can do a credit card.
That's fine.
Okay,
So
we'll discuss
let's
that.
go with the next item. Let's get this out of here.
And install the link again.
The link, yeah, DSPORTMag.com/garage sale. Now we have anybody else on there? Is anybody watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of
hopefully
Facebook.
Everybody is.
Richard Fong's watching.
Oh God, Richard, really? No. How you doing, Richard?
Pretty well, man.
I could just imagine what's going on in the Fong compound right now. The Fong family's been prepared for an emergency disaster for probably the last 45 years. So,
Jason Huang is saying, I love you guys.
so they're all set. All right. So guys, let's see. What are we in the mood for? We did a turbo. We did an intercooler. How about some engine management? Let's get that the Ford Mustang 2.3. What is that?
The DTE system.
DTE systems. That's the one. All right, let me see if I can find that in here, or see if you can find that in there. I'll tell people a little bit about these systems. Now, DTE systems, it's something you might not be familiar with because it's kind of a different way to skin the cat from what we typically do here in the States. Is very popular in Europe, and essentially what it is. Why don't you hold this, and then I'll ask you questions, and you can tell me. How's that? Okay, good. And essentially, what it does is it's a signal conditioning unit. What does that mean? Well, the way to think about it, it's a way of raising the boost on the vehicle without having the ECU really know that the boost is being two different boost sensors it goes to in this application, and a camshaft sensor to kind of get the RPM signal to know what to do. And there's different programs in it, and it's really a simple plug and play. You plug this thing in, and all of a sudden there's some different levels you can set it to, and you just have increased boost, increased performance. And if I remember right, what did this make?
62 wheel horsepower, 62 foot-pound of torque with 4 pounds of boost higher.
So it increased the boost about 4 psi, and it picked up 60 horsepower at the wheels, or 62 horsepower and 62 foot-pounds of torque at the wheels. That was the highest gains for that. And what are we selling it for?
This one is going for $450 from the original $900.
So originally $900, $450. So if you've got a Ford EcoBoost Mustang, 2.3 liter, this is a great way to get an extra 60 horsepower really easily. Now, one of the things before we get to the next item about those, that's kind of cool. Depending on the state you live in and what you're doing, if you're using your car at the track and then you're worried about, putting it back to full street form, with a reflash, like, is that going to leave a fingerprint on there when I go to the dealer? This won't do any of that because it's not actually going into the ROM and rewriting anything. It leaves all that the same, and it's just basically tricking the ECU into thinking it's not making enough boost, so it makes more boost. And it's really that simple. All right, so what's going to be next here? So we got a little engine management. We got a little boost. Cool. Let's do, oh God. Yes. All right. Miata guys. I know I've made fun of you time and time again, but there is a reason why you own a Miata. They're a very cheap way to get around a racetrack and have lots of fun. Now, if you are looking for 2012 Mazda MX-5, I like to call it a Miata because that's what it is, no matter how many times they try to tell you it's an MX-5. Workshop manual. This thing, what is its normal cost? Like $200 or something?
Yeah, 200.
$200. It even has actual mold damage here. I don't know if you guys want to see that or get close up on that. I don't think it's mold damage, but it's some type of water damage. But in any case, this entire ginormous manual can be yours, and just bid on it. I know there's a lot of Miata guys out there. There's grassroots motorsport readers, which are actually 97% Miata owners. I didn't know if you guys knew that or not. But check that out. Let's get that out of here. All right, so decent resource. Now you guys are mixing this up. Maybe on the parts that we already did, maybe throw them down here in the front so we know we did them. Okay, and while we're doing that, one of you guys, can we grab, let's grab some brakes here. Let's do that whole brake kit. Now, one of the stories that we did, and guys, if you're following the garage sale and you want to see these items and you can get on and or buy it now before we get to them and really mess up my day, whatever you want to do, go to dsportmag.com/garage sale. All right. Now, a lot of people out there, you know, purchased BRZ, FRS, 86, whatever you want to call the platform, and one of the major complaints about the vehicle is just a lack of balls. It just does not have a lot of horsepower to it, but the thing is phenomenally fun on a track. And one of the ways to get a good performance increase and get a lot of good bang for the buck is to go to an aftermarket forced induction system, whether it be a supercharger or a turbocharger. And we went through and tested a bunch of different systems. And you can find that story on dsportmag.com. If you're in the market looking for a supercharger or turbocharger system for your FRS BRZ 86, definitely read that before you buy it so you can get the one that's going to be best suited for you and what you're trying to do. Now, while we were doing that, we wanted to make sure that all the vehicles that we had set up had the same braking system, had the same suspension, had everything the same, so that it was as much an apples to apples test between just the only difference being the forced induction system. And in doing so, we ended up with one extra set of the braking solution that we went to, and the reason why this was the set that we used for photography. And what we have here is a full set of DBA 4000 series brake rotors for the FRS BRZ 86 and brake pads.
These were only used for photography, obviously.
Yeah, these are only used for photography. I can show you the pads. There's no...
I got a question, but it's not related to this.
Sure.
Got any built EJ short blocks?
Built EJ short blocks. Right now, we do not have any built EJ short blocks. We have, what do we have right now on the Subaru side? We have a few FA20 2.1 liters going together for BRZ, for BRZ FRS. And that's it on the Subaru side right now. But we can do it, and if you guys are interested in that, you know, email us or get us on one of the ways to get in contact with us, and we can talk to you. Maybe there's a tuning shop in your area that we already support that can get those engines for you, so you guys can get out there to the racetrack and have some fun. All right, so what do you got here? You got a total of 4 rotors. Now let's take a look at these rotors. They're the slotted rotor.
Anything for Evo 8s?
Anything for Evo 8s?
Boss Tune just tuned in.
You know what? I'm gonna grab something for Evo 8. That's a good call. I think I remember when we have something there. So we'll get that a little bit later. But anyways, we've got a full set of rotors, front and rear. I think the weird thing about these, if I remember right, are rear rotors cost more than fronts on this application. I don't know why. But yeah, so you guys are all set up here. I think the list price on all this new is somewhere in the neighborhood of like $900 or something like that. And what are we doing it for, guys?
520.
520?
The whole thing.
520 the whole thing. So, yeah, good solution for you guys out there. These pads, they're street track pads, so it's not anything you couldn't drive on the street. So they're not the kind that, you know, sound like the city buses and stuff every time you hit the brakes. So let's get that out of here. And Joe, when you have a chance, see if you can track down, I think we have a set of 4G63 Cosworth cams on the Mitsubishi shelf over there, if you can grab those. So Evo 8 guy, I think we have something for you in a little bit. In the meanwhile, while we're getting some more items up here, and next up for items, let's get those blocks camshafts up here. I'll talk a little bit about this one right next to me, what we got right next to me. And right next to me, you guys might remember a few years back, we built an engine for the LC500. I think it was the LC500 when Lexus was introducing the LC. And what we did is we took one of these engines, tore it down, went completely through it, sleeved it, got custom CP piston, and a pretty cool deal, you know. And we had, when we built them, we built 2 of them at the same time, and we still have one of these left, and you can see it's not just a short block or a long block. This is a complete engine, from fuel injector to coil, and I think we even have an engine harness and maybe some of the ECUs for it. Maybe not, but anyways, if you've got a 2015 RCF or LC500 or GSF that you guys are racing, these engines are awesome. I mean, I wish we would have got to do more with these because it has like 6-bolt mains, and it's just a super strong, really cool package. It has both port injection and direct fuel injection. It's a pretty cool setup on these things. So maybe in the future we'll do a project build with one of these engines, but we've got this one complete, ready to go in a race car. So if you guys are interested, let us know, and yeah, we'll get into that.
It's not on the website, so you would have to call or email.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger items. We want to kind of make sure we're getting you the right thing and all that, you know, so it's set up for you. So I don't know if we'll put it in auction format. We'll see if we get anything, and then if not, maybe we'll put it in the auction
I
format.
got another question.
Next week. Yes.
Do we have any 4G63 heads?
That haven't been destroyed by morons out there? Probably not. No. You know, it's just so sad, the 4G63 parts that are just getting beat up and chewed up and spit out there. And yeah, finding a decent. Now, if you have a core that needs a lot of work, maybe, you know, you've misplaced the caps on it or this and that, or it needs seats, we can do all that stuff at Club DSPORT. We can repair a pretty jacked up head. But yeah, a lot of people have jacked up these heads. Just don't take the time to tune it right, and you know, it's always the people that build an engine for a boost level instead of a horsepower level. That's what you should always watch out for. The 70-pound guys that seem to be having issues melting these things down a lot. So we don't have any right now, but we can fix them. One of the things that we do on the 4G63 heads that's a little bit different than pretty much anybody else is we actually torque plate the head when we cut the valve job. And what that does is it makes sure that that valve seat to valve contact actually is maintained when you torque the head to the block. And by doing that, we've done it a lot on the, we can do it on the RB, the 2JZ, 4G63, SR20, all those applications. Once you do that, the number of valve train failures you have kind of just go away. Because now you've got that valve-to-valve contact, heat's transferring out of it. You don't have to wait for a valve to warp to fit that warp seat. It's a pretty cool setup. So let's get into this. B-Series, got a lot of B-Series guys out there. A set of blocks camshafts right here. And I think this is one of the items that isn't on there. But these are, I forget which ones. There's so many different ones that they offer that are very similar to each other. In fact, when we tried mixing and matching a bunch of different combinations of the cams that they actually had in stock when we were doing the test, the difference in horsepower was like some of the cams that we used probably for maybe 10 dyno runs. That's all we did on them is maybe 10 dyno runs. So if you guys are interested in a pair of performance B-Series camshafts, we need to add this item, but we've got these for you, and get you some specs and all that. There you go, Joe. All right. Oh, all right. So the Evo 8 guy, you were asking what we have. So these are kind of interesting. These are a set of cams, some Cosworth cams for 4G63 that they're kind of, what'd you call it? I don't know what the exact term would be, but they're misindexed, meaning where the actual cam dowel is put is incorrect. Besides that, there's nothing wrong with them except that So these are cams that you couldn't use unless you had cam gears and unless you knew how to degree a set of cams on the engine. But if you are that capable, we'll make you a great deal on these cams. So that's what we got for the Evo 8 guys right now. As we go through and start doing more cleaning, we'll try to grab some more stuff for you guys. But I don't know, I guess we'll probably do these for say $200. If anybody wants to do that for $200, let us know. Yes.
Question: a G35 slotted rotors, plenum, spacer, 75mm throttle body.
And have any of those for G35?
Yeah.
What do we have for G35? Which oh, G35. Gosh, what do we have? We got something, Joe?
That's Q35.
Q35. We'll look. I don't think we do, but we'll take a look and see if we can dig up anything. This is just, it's been kind of fun. It's treasure hunting back there. We were just not good in keeping things organized. We just had a lot of space and we used it. So now we get to go through there and find lots of cool stuff. Speaking of which, let's get those slicks up here. Yeah. So these were M&H Racing slicks that we got when we were planning to do some drag strip testing with the Fiesta ST project we have over here. But the reality is we never got there to do it. And so since we're probably never going to get there in that car anytime soon, I'd like to get you guys, somebody else out there, these tires so that you guys can be making some passes out there and getting some great times. M&H, I don't know how much you guys know about them, but they're one of the few manufacturers out there making racing slicks that use real rubber. And there are lots of advantages to real rubber over synthetic rubbers. And it's a pretty good, it's a really good product compared to some of the ones that are out there. So size-wise, this is a 23 height, 7.5 width, 15. So pretty much it can work for a lot of the front-wheel drive guys out there. I think new these things are, what are they, probably, I don't know, got to be close to $500 for a set, if not more. We kept these in a black bag, which if you're going to store real rubber, you want to make sure you keep them in a black bag because the ozone can dry them out and make them crack and do all kinds of funky stuff like that. But if you keep them in a black bag, seal them off, keep the air in there, that'll preserve them. They're still going to age. These aren't as good as if you buy a set for them today, but you're still going to get some good passes out of there and get your car some good data and stuff from your car using these. So let's get these on a car that's out there and run some good numbers out there. All right, let's get that out of here. And let's see.
How much for those?
200.
200? 200. So $200 on those.
To buy it now.
Not for to buy it now. It's auction style though. You could bid something less, see if somebody outbid you, or maybe you win it. Go from there. Let's see. What do we got? How about that flywheel? What's that for? It's a Ford Focus. Ah, Focus or Fiesta? Do we know?
Check the.
I'm looking.
All right, guys.
That's for a Mustang EcoBoost 2.3 liter.
Oh, Mustang EcoBoost. Okay, so it's Mustang EcoBoost. This is Fidanza. Probably know Fidanza for aluminum flywheels. They make a lot. They also make clutches, short shifters, and some other items. This particular one is features the what's the word I'm looking for here? The friction surface, or the wearable surface here, can be serviced and replaced. It uses looks like a factory ring gear that gets pinned on here. And you know, for road racing and stuff like that, a light and flywheel, or if you're, you know, trying to make better numbers on a inertia dyno, decreasing this mass here can definitely help. It also, every time you push in the clutch, the engine will come down in RPM quicker, so it usually can help the shifts of the vehicle be smoother and give less wear to the synchros and stuff. So they're great for road racing and stuff like that. Not necessarily the best for drag racing, and the reason being is depending how big your engine is. If you have a small engine, can't make boost, don't have a lot of torque off the line, having more weight in your flywheel actually stores more energy, and when you drop that clutch, it'll help push that car forward. So but for street and stuff like this isn't too light where you're going to run into a situation where you have problems modulating and starting out the car, where you have to really slip the clutch or just drop the clutch from a high RPM. But anyways, nice looking quality item there. All right, and what is next here? Any questions so far, guys? DSPORTMag.com/garage sale. That's where you can get this information. What are those wheels for? I'm trying to remember the story behind these. Come on, bring them up. Bring those up. Now, were these for
Mazda 2.
You sure these were for the Mazda 2?
Yes.
Okay. So these are 15x7, 4x100 with a backspace.
Can you check?
Say? But you're thinking, you're remembering these were from possibly from the Mazda 2?
Yeah, it's for the Pirelli World Challenge event.
Ah, that's right. Okay, so Pirelli World Challenge, which is now, I can't remember the name. It had a sponsor that was French for white bread, and then it has something else, different sponsor this year. Anyways, it's a pretty cool series, but they used to have a B-Spec class. I don't know if they still have it, which was kind of an entry-level class. And Mazda one year let one of our editors, Cameron, go out there and take their car and actually drive it in the competition at Laguna Seca event. And he had a blast doing it. He had a blast crashing in the car too. And yeah, he'll never live that down. But when we got the stuff, you know, we needed to have enough wheels and tires so we could make changes and stuff while we were there. So that's why we got some spares, knowing that Cameron was driving and no wheel was safe. And we never put these on the car, never mounted anything on them. So this would be good for, you know, maybe some drag slicks and stuff like that. I'll try to find out what the backspacing in. There's 73.1, but I'm not sure if that's
I believe they're 15.735, or can you check the...
You think 15.735?
I believe so. Can you? It's on the site.
But maybe these would be a good
There
setup.
is a small little...
15.735.
15x7x35. Okay. So plus 35 offset, right?
Plus 35.
Yeah, where's the
Oh, it's on it?
No, it's a little bit of a...
dent?
little bit of a...
I don't think these are going to be for the show car guy, Tyler.
No.
Come on. Come on. These are something that you get, that you mount your slicks on so you don't have to use up another set of wheels. Here you go.
Somewhere there's a new the buy it now price is $100.
$100 for the two of them right now.
New enthusiast looking for some tools.
Looking for some tools. You know what? We got one of these left over that we didn't end up using because we kind of got set up where we're using the same one between the two places. We got a chance to test this thing out, and before I used to have the snap-on one. It is an older one, of course, but it's just junk now. I replaced the battery on it, and it's just it has no balls anymore. And then I kind of got introduced to these, the DeLonghi M18 fuel stuff. And is this one of the brushless motor ones? Do we know? I'm not sure if this is or not.
No.
Nope, this isn't. But I mean, these things are insane. How much torque they have. This one, if I remember right, yeah, this one's pretty crazy. You can actually download an app with this thing and interface with it and track your tool's location. And some other deals with it. I think it lets you record torque values and all kinds of like weird stuff that you can do with it. But in any case, even just as an impact wrench, these things are badass. I mean, they'll blast off an RB26 crank hub bolt, which is torqued to 360 foot-pounds, so it has no problem with that. We use a lot of the Milwaukee stuff, and the M18 system is cool because it can interface with a lot of the other tools and stuff. So I think whoever gets this is going to be real happy. What are we doing this one for?
Buy it now is $350.
$350. Okay, I think that's going to be bought now probably then. By somebody, it's only $350.
I'll buy it now.
All right. Any other questions coming up?
Victor says, does that have the button change torque power?
Yeah, it does. Here, put that back up. Let's open the box on that one. Let me show you Victor. That's not Victor from Emergency Hookers.
It is.
Victor. Hey,
It is.
Victor, how's it going? Hope you are doing well. Thanks for joining us. While everybody's their captured audience here. All right, let's see. So.
Anything for
Here you go.
2004 350Z?
So there's the 4 different settings here. The battery level check. And, oh cool, this one comes with 2 batteries. So 2 batteries, the charger, and all the interfacing and stuff.
Half inch?
Half inch?
Fuel
Half inch?
systems.
These things kill. You know, the 3/8 inch, you've got to have one of those too. The half inch is awesome because it's going to kill anything you give it. But the 3/8, because it's more compact, but it's so powerful still. You really want to invest in getting both when you guys, start setting up your tool set.
Another question, do we have any leftover DSM stuff?
DSM first gen stuff? Yes, we do have some stuff. What are they looking for?
They have.
Do they have a
Torque specs
DSM
at
budget?
each
That's the
level,
problem.
I'll
What are
keep
the
you
torque
updated.
specs at
Okay.
each level?
Let's find out.
Any chance you know the torque levels at each spec?
The torque.
Let's.
I know it's a maximum of 1400.
I know a maximum is 1,400 nut butt busting foot-pounds of torque. 1,400 nut busting foot-pounds of torque right there. Let's see here. It shows that.
Cameron says,
Uh-oh, Cameron's there.
what's the part number? It should say on the corner of the box.
Is this it?
And the DSM guy said 2G stuff.
2G. We don't have any 2G. We might have some. What might we have? 2G. Gosh, no, I don't think we have
How much did we say this was?
anything
350?
2G,
350.
at all, actually.
350.
I'll have to look at the manual. All right, let's see here. Doesn't seem to have it. I don't. Does it have the numbers on there? No.
No, but it should be on the website if you put that part number on their website
Okay.
or in mail.
Let's see. I thought I might have it here. No. It might be. This might be the one where you can actually. Ah, yeah. Actually, here you go. You can customize this tool. That's the cool part about it now. Remember, with the interface through your phone, you can set those different levels to different custom torque levels, and you can also set a max speed for it too. So if you want something where it's not going too fast, but it's giving a lot of torque, you can set that all up. So yeah, I mean this does it all. It's pretty much top of the line, half inch.
Someone's asking for a 350Z item.
350. Yeah, bring that up then. Right on. Now the 350Z, I mean that's turning into an application that it's a pretty inexpensive way to get out to the track. I know a lot of people are tracking them now. What we have right now, we've got a complete aluminum radiator,
2003 to 2008.
2003 to 2008 350Z radiator. What else do we got?
Boy, that's
we had an
crazy.
intake. Don't we have an intake?
Still in.
We only have the still in.
Oh, that's it. So that's for the
250.
Kia. Okay, this is what we
And
have
then we're
now.
going to be adding parts next week.
Yeah, I mean, the goal is if this isn't too big of a mess up and you guys actually like this and we don't have 18 technical difficulties, we're going to try to do this again and again until our warehouse is clean, because we figure, you know, you guys are at home probably not doing anything, and we're going to try to entertain you and find you some deals, and maybe educate you. If you guys have tech questions and all that kind of stuff, we can do it at the same time. All right, so we got this. How much is this?
This one's a buy it now for 150.
Buy it now for 150 bucks. So you can't beat that. A full aluminum radiator, 150 bucks. And let's bring up the next item. What do we got? What's that blocks item?
This one?
Yeah, I think that's a
Honda test pipe.
Okay.
Telescopic.
Telescopic, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get that. Okay. All right. Oh, that's pretty cool. You can clock it different ways. Right on. Well, Honda guys out there, Dave and the gang over at Blocks have done a pretty cool job here with this product. I like this. I'm gonna have to actually say only nice things about this design. That's pretty smart. Because yeah, depending when what header you put on the car and stuff like that, if it's from a B16, B18, what it originally fit, on a lot of the B series and swaps and stuff, you don't know where the heck you're ending up. And when you got a track car and stuff, this looks like a pretty damn good way to put something together where you can get this thing clocked correctly and all set up. So you could probably do two things. After you get it set up, you could either weld it or does it include those type of spring clamps? I've seen these spring clamps used before. It's like a band clamp, I should call it, that you can put on these, and it'll also cinch that up and make it leak proof. But stainless steel, TIG welded. It's got the O2 sensor port, and nice job there. What is this selling for?
Buy it now for 70.
Buy it now for 70 bucks. That's a pretty good deal. Remember, guys, this is a race only part, off-road only. You can't take your cats off on your street cars. And we're gonna get into that. This is gonna be a future tech story that we're kind of working on right now. You guys would be surprised on the latest generation of catalytic converters, how unrestricted they are. And it's not the days when they had these pellet cats in there that would
Someone's asking when the lock is still
because of the
available.
tuning of the car, just turn in the lava and choke off your engine and cause fires underneath your car when you parked over dry grass. It's not like that anymore with catalytic converters.
Someone's asking if this is still available in Milwaukee.
Well, I don't know. This is,
As far
So,
as, you know,
if-
as far as we know, it is.
Where's the website? How do we get to it?
So, website, dsportmag.com/garage sale. And this is the first time we've used this plugin. It might completely suck. We don't know.
But there's
we're
a buy
trying.
it now option
But there's a
too.
buy it now option.
If
So,
they go to buy it now and it's not there, then it's not available. But
yeah, so we're thinking if it's not there when you go to buy it now, that means it got bought. So,
If you have any questions, you can always email us.
yeah, you could always email us
or DM us.
or DM us. All right, so let's pick something else. You know what? Let's go in a different direction. Escalade, Cadillac Escalade. Project Budget Luxury Tow. Project BLT. This has been a fun project that we had lots of fun with, and then we got the idea to do this, 50 state legal camshaft and all these other items. And then we learned that the LS engine isn't like the regular small block Chevy, and you can't basically change the cam and lifters without pulling off the heads. And then we thought, well, we got to pull off the heads, we might as well pull out the engine, we pull out the engine, and then we got a dart block, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this is one of those projects that's been taking way too long. But along the way, back when we actually made progress and it created a lot of editorial from it, we did kind of an overview and a shootout of all the different intakes that were available for it. And
Should I put them up here?
yeah, let's throw them all up. So, did we do this digitally? Or
It was
did we
in
do-
print.
In print? All right. So I don't know if it's digital too, but I know we did it in print, and we basically dyno tested all these different intakes on the what year Escalade? Anyone remember?
What?
2005, 6.
5, I believe.
Anyways, we tested all these. You can check it out. I think it's online. If not, if you're interested, we can get you the back issue. But we have all these different intakes. So I'll just go through them real quick, give you an idea what they look like. AEM, it's a dry filter media. Nice, looks like a crinkle coat powder coat finish on the tube, and a piece
That's
here.
actually a Subaru part. My
Oh,
the other one,
right.
yeah.
So this is the Subaru part. All right, let's get this out of here. So Subaru guys, we'll come back to that after this. All right, let's try this again. All right. So it looks like we've got a molded plastic intake tube, different connectors, and world famous K&N filter, cotton gauze, and oil. Working great. So yeah, this is one of the ones. This one actually has a nice radiused inlet too. That goes on the, I think that goes to the mass air sensor on this, and helps you get a nice signal. But now, if you guys ever installed one of the K&M systems, they're great. They fit awesome. So something to consider there. If you got that, that's one option. And let's see.
This one is also Escalade. Yeah, that one at the bottom is Escalade.
This is Escalade? Oh, okay. So here's,
36, that's gonna be
Yeah,
selling
yeah.
stuff.
oh, looks like we have two different ones. Panel
Someone is
filter.
asking if we're selling stuff.
Yes, yes, that's what you do in a garage sale. Usually. I mean, you could just do it to make new friends, but we're doing it to clean up our warehouse. A lot of the parts we have here are parts that we used for testing or for photography, and they're just taking up space and we're not doing anything with them. So we decided, while everyone's sitting at home, we'd entertain you guys a little bit and get you guys some good deals, and maybe somebody out there has an Escalade or a Silverado or a Sierra or Yukon 2007 to 2018, because this panel filter is going to be for you. Right there, dry flow panel filter. So it gives a lot better performance than the factory cardboard filters that they come with, or carpet filters sometimes. And then let's see. So here is, if you go to the full system from AEM, nice. This is powder coated actually. It's a chrome powder coat finish pipe, and this, and also has a little heat shield, molded coupler, heat shield, all that good stuff for your Escalade or GMC or Tahoe. You guys out there. All right, go through this one, a Spectre one. Same type of deal. This one, just a raw aluminum finish. And a radius inlet, filter, all the connectors and clamps you need, and air raid. So the air raid one's a little bit different than the rest, as you notice. A big roto molded new intake box it comes with. This gets to go in there. I think the airflow meter goes there, and then something like this or something like that. Anyways, yeah, all that stuff's there.
Someone's asking where Gianni's at.
Where is Johnny? Johnny's in the machine shop right now. What's he working on? He's working on some 2JZ stuff this week. We've been doing some shimless conversions, setting up some 2JZ blocks for like drag, 1500, 2000 horsepower type stuff. He did what did he do? He did a 11 to 12 millimeter head stud conversion this week. Two different heads we've been working on. One was hand ported, one was CNC ported. We're gonna actually flow the hand ported one and compare it to that just to see how this guy's porting was. And yeah, we've got that going on.
And then we got another Evo 803 question.
came in.
Yeah,
Anything
Evo
for
803, go for it.
anything for 03 or Evo 8?
Well, we had the camshafts. I don't know if, well, I guess once this is over, if you didn't see that on YouTube, it'll still be there and you can go back. What about the rest of these? Will they still stay live?
I think it'll be live
It'll
from.
still stay there even
Yeah.
after it's live? Okay. Yeah, so you have to rewind, but what we did find, we found some Cosworth camshafts that were misindexed. So you'd have to be a pretty competent mechanic to know how to degree them properly. Might have to re-drill the keyway, or I don't know how you want to fix it, but they were definitely off, and that's why they weren't used in the test.
STI.
Let's do that STI exhaust. All right. I mean, sorry, intake.
Mm.
I wanted to say STI intake.
$160.
160.
Buy it now.
Buy it now for 160. Oh, look at that. Here's a little piece here to kind of straighten the airflow to the air mass sensor. That's kind of cool. I hadn't seen that before. Is that molded in there? Interesting. Huh. Heat shield, all that cool stuff. So we dyno tested this. We use this for a test and tune. So during a test and tune, what we try to do is take a few different items for the same car and put them back to back and show you kind of what kind of performance increases you could expect from that tuning package.
What year's carb compliant for the SCI?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's 15 plus.
All right, 2015 and up on that WRX one. There's a carb compliance on that. We can double check because we want to make sure that we get you the right one on that. What do we got, guys? Sure. So this is a pretty cool deal. This is a race pack CL1 setup, and actually has some RAM mounts for it too. Now the CL1 is it's a pretty cool setup. I don't know how much you guys know about these, but we use these
86 challenge.
during the 86 challenge. Yeah, so we used a full regimen of these during the 86 challenge, and the cool thing about it is you can kind of, you can build up a group and people can actually watch what you're doing. It has telemetry. It basically uses telemetry through your phone. It gets broadcasted to a link that people can load, and then you can have, you know, your friend or somebody else out there watching your lap times and stuff. It's pretty much one of the only affordable ways to get the telemetry, and if you really want to practice social distancing, there's probably no better way.
You can also monitor all the car data, temperature, stuff like that.
That's right. That's right. I believe, yeah, there's a CAN interface, so you can get the OBD2 stream in there too. That's right. So we were able to see, I think, the
Engine temp,
and all that, oil pressure and all that kind of stuff was going on there while we were doing lap times. Also gives you the lap times, of course, and it was pretty cool. I think this was the one where you could actually see like a Google Maps view of the track and where the car is.
Yeah.
And
it's live.
and live as it's going. It's a pretty trick system. So if you track your car a lot, and maybe you're tracking your car and somebody else who lives far away is helping you set it up, this is cool because it lets them be at the track getting that data while they're sitting at home, sitting in front of their laptop. So it's a pretty cool.
You can also check all your data after to see kind of where you can improve and all that stuff.
Exactly. You can also log the data and see all that. So it's a pretty cool solution. It's a little bit new. I know this got really big in the go-kart world.
Yes.
Yeah, the go-kart world. This is like insanely popular. Admittedly, I haven't been going out to Time Attack and the track days recently, so I don't know how popular, if it's caught on there, but it's a pretty cool technology. And if you guys need that type of telemetry and tracking and all that, it is a good solution for that.
So another question,
Yes.
any ND2 stuff?
ND2.
We actually have Miata ND, the V Locks hood lover kit.
Oh yeah.
We have those vents
Okay,
right over
yeah,
there.
let's bring that up. So wait, I'm gonna sound stupid here. Which one's ND2? Is there an ND1 and an ND2?
ND2, I believe, is
It's a
currently
minor
racing.
change? Or- okay, that's the current one.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the one we had, I believe, was NC.
We had NC, and then
Cameron has
Cameron
ND.
bought the ND,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Correct.
And after that, got any FRS stuff?
Yeah, FRS guy. We're gonna be follow us because we got some good stuff for you. All right. So, ND guy. This is which one? This is the V Locks one.
Correct.
All right. So these are the V Locks. Where do these go? These are the
For the hood, on the hood.
hood louvers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
$100
Hood
for
set.
both.
So you've got that to kind of have your vehicle stand apart from the rest of the MX-5s out there. All right, what else we got?
As far as the BRZ guy that just walked in, we've kind of talked about the DBA brakes.
Yeah,
the
so
full
BRZ
brake kit.
guy, if you hadn't seen it already, we've got a full brake solution for your BRZ with DBA rotors and DBR pads, a complete set. That one was only used for photography, and I think if you bought that stuff new, it's over 900 bucks, and I think the buy it now price was somewhere, I think 520 or something like that.
It's BRZ.
Yeah.
These are all BRZ stuff.
All right, so let's do a bunch of BRZ stuff. All right. So, we talked about the brake system. We already saw that. Here's some pretty cool product from Revo. These are the idlers. I'll show you what these look like. Okay, come on. So the idlers,
One is AC
both.
delete.
there's an AC delete. Here's the water and alternator pulleys. I'm guessing these are probably an underdrive, right? Anybody know? Do we have the specs on these? That's nice.
You can reuse your existing engine belt, your original one.
Oh, does it? Okay, so it may not be too much of an underdrive. It is. More tensioners. Okay, so are these the same tensioners or different ones? Skew 21B. I think they go on. They're different idlers for a different. I forget. I think one's like water pump or something, and one's the. I forget. And the cam block off plate. Nice little deal. This is
Got another question. Any RB26 parts?
We've got plenty of RB26 parts. What are you looking for? And that one, we might have to just do an RB26 garage sale. We've got lots of used parts, some new parts, lots of cool stuff. So let us know what you want on that. And then Mishimoto hose kit.
Silicone
There are
hose.
two of them, right?
Yeah, I believe there are two.
I think two,
the
yeah.
same.
Same thing, just different boxes. But Mishimoto supplied us with the cooling solution that we used during the 86 challenge. So these were the extra ones we had left over. Website, dsportmag.com/garage sale. This is a brand new plugin that we're using, a brand new thing that we're using. And it might completely suck or it might be good. We don't know. But we figured we'd try it out. No better time than the present to do something while everybody's practicing their social distancing at home, which is good. And in the meanwhile, while we've got this time, you know, this is a great time to plan out your build and stuff like that.
Yes.
Ah.
It's for whoever buys this car.
So,
Instagram shut off when I turned it on again
Um,
because it was an hour.
this is the spec solution for when you're starting to make some big power.
I believe that's this 3 Plus version.
Stage 3 Plus?
Yes.
Stage 3 Plus. And I don't know how many of you guys out there have used the Spec product line before. They make some excellent clutches, both their single disc and twin disc stuff. Really nice people, great customer service and stuff. So, yeah, if you get anything from them, I think you're going to be really happy. This one here, we actually got for this vehicle, our Fiesta ST, and I forgot what happened. Oh, this was for the built engine. So this one we're supposed to be teaming up with the built engine for this. This is actually one of the larger items that we're going to have for sale. We don't have it listed up there yet. We were trying to ask a reasonable price, but nobody wanted to pay a reasonable price for it. And then we went on some of the forums and stuff for the Fiesta ST community. And yeah, they don't like to spend money. I guess that's why they bought the Fiesta ST. A good value car. But if somebody's out there that wants, I'm just going to say this is the world's most badass Fiesta ST.
It is.
It's built right. It won an award from Ford at the SEMA show. We built it for the SEMA show.
One-off turbo kit.
One-off turbo kit from a full race EFR turbo on it. This thing's badass. Let's go to the clutch and then we'll go to the car.
Subaru WRX parts, we have it. We're going to get to it.
Okay. Oh, we have more. Oh, WRX parts.
WRX.
Okay, Subaru WRX parts. We have those. We're going to be coming up on those. Tell me anything more about this clutch.
Yes, it's
So aluminum flywheel. Of course.
yeah, it's a
Steel
aluminum.
gear. Single diaphragm looks like. Yep, single diaphragm. And I can't tell.
Semi-metallic full face material.
Okay, semi-metallic full face, and it's a non-sprung hub.
Yeah,
No
hub comes in
nonsense.
either sprung or rigid.
Yep. So this is a non-sprung hub. And what is this one going for? Buy it now.
Buy it now is only $450, but they can bid it also
Okay,
if you want.
buy it now, $450. Get the car, maybe we'll make you a deal. All right. While we get those little items there, I'll just talk a little bit about the car. Since it's been in here, I don't know how much you guys have seen this in the background and stuff, but
Alexis is asking anything for the 2016 Honda Civic EXL?
yeah, for that Civic. Wait, is that a 10th gen? No, that's a 9th gen.
2016?
2016?
Yeah, it's 10th gen.
That is
It'll
the okay. So we have for the 10th gen, we have the engine intercooler for that. And do we have anything else?
For that, no, because we only have the exhaust for the sedan.
Okay. Oh, exhaust for the sedan.
Civic SI sedan.
Civic SI. Okay. Yeah, we just have an SI exhaust. A couple of those systems that we're gonna show you in a bit. But I think just the engine intercooler, which is this one down here, you can rewind and go back through and see. But anyways, so the concept with this car is kind of it was the first time. I think it was our first build for a SEMA car that wasn't one of our own personal cars for a manufacturer. And so Ford wanted to do something that year with the Fiesta, and we kind of looked at it and thought about what people like to do, and a lot of the Fiesta ST crowd, they like to track the car. So we thought, okay, well, tracking the car and this and that, and we had our B-spec experience with the Mazda 2, and we're like, we could make it into like that type of car, but B-spec, it doesn't really fit that. So we thought about doing something different with this car. And let me get that question before I get into it.
Where can I buy these parts?
You can buy these parts at dsportmag.com/garage sale, unless it's a part that we weren't planning that you guys asked about and we grabbed. We have to still put that up there, so that might not be up there yet.
Another question.
Go.
RB26 parts related, so pistons, camshafts,
Any
springs,
910
containers, do we have them?
We've got some pistons in stock, cams, and what do you say, springs?
Yes.
We may on the
believe that's-
springs. Yeah, not sure on the springs. But yeah, we should have some of that. Yeah, go ahead.
2 questions. 2 JZ parts and 9th gen Civic parts.
2 JZ, yes. We've got some 2 JZ parts. And
We can keep adding them to the website after this
yeah,
is over
Civic, I
too.
don't think we have anything right now.
Just 10th gen.
just 10th gen right now.
And the rest of our universal parts, so any application we use.
As far as the two JZ parts, we can post them on the website after this, and then we're going to refeature them in the next auction.
Yeah, that's. I guess we'll do that. We'll get some stuff on the 2JZ stuff. We have. I'm trying to remember here. I think we have maybe some 1 or 2 new piston sets. I think we have. 2JZ. What do we have there?
Blocks.
Have a couple blocks, but I think they're all like 87 millimeter, or would have to go to 87 millimeter. And I'll take a look around. We might have factory crank too, but I got to take a look. So a few 2JZ parts. We don't do as many 2JZs as we do RBs, but actually right now we've got more 2JZs than RBs, but usually it's the opposite. Anyways, let me tell you a little bit more about this car. So we had to build this car. We only had, I think we only had 8 weeks to do it. One of those typical SEMA builds where you think you're going to get the car in March and it shows up in August. So this car, we wanted to build something that was a track car and for a class that didn't exist at the time. And we thought, there's a lot of front-wheel drive, turbocharged cars out there, and if there was something that made, around 350 horsepower, it was lightweight and fun, that would be a cool class for a Pirelli World Challenge. And so we built the car to be able to meet the safety requirements, and if it was ever homologated, this would be kind of the car that we would like to see the Fiesta ST become for that. So you can see a full cage was done in it. Take a look at the cage work. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a show car that's a race car. It's got a full fire system in it. Sparco seats. Some of the things we wanted to be different, and we wanted to kind of do something with the Fiesta ST that not many people had probably done, and so we wanted to put some TE37s on it because everybody knows you can put TE37s on anything and they look awesome. That's the thing about race TE37s, they just kick ass. So we wanted to put TE37s on it, but the lame ass bolt pattern that the Ford Fiesta has did not allow that to happen. So what we did is we decided to use our CNC machine and Club DSPORT to our advantage. We bought brand new hubs and re-drilled them for 4x100, and we're able to put some TE37s of these on here with some Toyo epoxy tires. So we've got in the rear here, we fit some 245 3517s. What do we got in the front?
245s, 35, 17.
All right, so we got the same setup all the way around. So some 245s on the Fiesta ST. What are some of the other things we did? I think we got an AIM dash in here. What else? The fire system, Sparco steering wheel with the disconnect. I guess might as well pop the hood. And you can see the paint. So when we got the car, we picked it, based on this color because this was a hot new color. And when it came, it was such a revolting finish that it came as. It was because it had all this orange peel, and this thing just, it looked like crap. And we went through, color sanded it, buffed the whole thing, and it really looks good.
Question.
Yeah.
Is this a bid possible situation or prices are firm?
On which? On this car or on the items?
Bid and stuff.
So on
Right,
I'm
that's the
assuming
car.
on the car.
Yeah.
on the car, it's kind of I guess a silent auction this week. If you guys give us a number we're happy with, you can buy it. But if it doesn't, if nobody's really interested in it this week, we'll do something with it next week and try to make some space, because I want to have space to maybe get another GTR in here. So this is taking up GTR space right now. Let's pop the hood. You can see it's just, I think there's, in all total, about 200 miles on this car. KW suspension all the way around, Willwood 6-piston, brake upgrade in the front. What we did here, so that we'd have enough fuel, is injection, not a direct injection, of a water meth kit, and we used it to be additional injector setup. Boomba helped us get that all set up. So it's got 4 injectors on a split second little box that kind of acts as the additional injector controller. And
340
right now?
or something.
Around 340 on just pump E85. And you can see a nice full race manifold in the back with the smallest of the EFR turbos.
It's also got flex fuel, right?
So I don't
Yeah.
think this is flex. I think it's E85 only.
E85, gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's E85 only. I'm not sure if at the time when we set it up with the Cobb, if they had that option. I'm not even sure they have that option now. But yeah, it's a pretty cool setup.
Yeah.
Did some crankcase evac system with the or ventilation system with the Mishimoto pitch can in here, and that's about it. Corey's did a full exhaust system on it also. Oh, we also have a different headlight for it. I don't know if anybody knows where it is. We could go grab. But what we did is kind of like on my R33 GTR, we took and we made a carbon fiber one here with the airlet inlet. It's a pretty cool little piece. I'll show you the road rashes and stuff on there. I'm not trying to. This needs to get fixed up here. When we first put it on, there's still a little bit of rub. It's you know, somebody who's good at rolling this stuff needs to just roll this stuff and get that paintless and fix that little touch up. And then this is me actually thinking that, and yes, I did that. And same time I did that, it did that. But besides that, that's it. I mean, car's been in the garage. What is this, a 2014 or something? 2015? 2015?
Dave just joined and he's saying, can you give a little rundown of what we're looking at?
What we're looking at, 2014 Ford Fiesta ST. This car was built to go in the Ford booth, the biggest booth at the SEMA show every year. Ford gave us an award that year. They really liked it because it wasn't just a car that people built and threw in there that just looked different. It actually had the performance that went along with it, and it was cool. We had some videos playing there showing the car tracking and how we improved it at each stage.
So Cameron also added it has a mounting differential and KW variant 3s as well.
Yes, KW variant 3s for the suspension, the Mountoon Quaife differential in the transmission. Does he remember what clutch is in it? Or does it already have a spec clutch in it? I'm trying to remember now. I think it does. I think we might have got a second one that was a heavier duty for the built engine. That's the other thing. You know, we have another engine for this that would be a built engine, which we could work a deal on too. That one we have custom Molly pistons for that. I'm trying to remember whose rods we have on that. But you know, if someone's interested and wants to get another engine, we were just surprised that the stock engine we were able to get that kind of power, and we thought we were going to do more with it, and didn't end up doing more with it, and yeah, so it'll be somebody else's fun project now. Okay, so what else? Do we have anything else, guys?
A few items.
A few items, all right. Oh, this thing is pretty cool. Yeah. All right. So an odometer package here. So what was this one, Joe? I think you did the story on this, right?
It was just the pod, as I recall.
Was it just the pod?
It's a universal mount, and then the gauges are, I guess, they're not part. They weren't part of the story.
So are these working gauges?
I
Are
believe
these
so.
brand new gauges in there.
Because I don't think this is the right number of wires then. Anyways, we're not sure what we have here. This is one of our we're not sure deals. But I believe Autometer makes this little pod here. They've been doing a couple more of these application-specific ones. This might just be the display thing, but we'll double check on this one.
It says with gauges.
With gauges.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if we just set this up this way. Maybe we did this. It's been so long, guys.
Yeah, it's
sorry.
been a while.
But in any case, a good setup there. All right. What's next? What do we got here?
Grimspeed battery hold down.
Oh, Grimspeed battery hold down. Do we know what application?
Yes, that's for the Focus,
Focus RS.
Focus RS. When did we have a Focus RS?
Bill.
Bill.
Ah, Bills, that's right. All right.
Delicious tuning.
All right, I'm not even going to pretend I know how this goes together. But if you've got a Focus RS out there and you still own it, because for whatever reason, Focus RS owners only own their vehicle for 6 months and they get something else. I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, if you're a Focus RS owner and you want a nice looking battery hold down, does this fit a smaller one? Or does it fit the, it looks kind of big. What do we know about this? We don't know anything about this one. Okay, perfect. All right, well, look up the part number or look on the site. We probably have more information on this one. Sorry, I can't help you guys too much on this one. All right, what's next?
Mishimoto baffled oil catch.
Okay, so universal part. All right, universal baffled oil catch can. All right. So you guys need a catch can, and just real quick, if give an explanation of what a catch can basically does. A lot of times, we try to create some negative or some vacuum in the crankcase, or at least a condition where it's either neutral or vacuum, so that we don't have crankcase pressure in there that can lead to all kinds of things, and rings unseating and stuff like that, loss of performance. We actually did a pretty cool article, and I think it is one of our digital articles now too, that we talk about the differences between performance when you have different levels of crankcase pressures. So a lot of times with these systems and stuff, you can change it so that you're either working in a vacuum condition or you're working in just an atmospheric condition. Most of the time, or I think all the time, this is dedicated to racing vehicles. You can't really make these modifications legally for your street car. But if you guys are into that and want to do it, a pretty cool modular system to do it here with the Mishimoto. It comes apart here like that. It's baffled, so what's supposed to happen is as the car's pulling vacuum, could be through the this could be going into the inlet tube into the turbo, and when the turbo is working all the time, it's creating a vacuum here, and that can help pull the crankcase pressure out of the engine. But instead of putting it directly into the turbo, which would get all that oil vapor and stuff in there also, it goes through here. So by going through here, the liquid and vapor oil is separated out. So you just create that vacuum condition without sucking it back into the engine or into the turbocharger and coating your whole intercooler system with it and killing the efficiency of your intercooling system. So this is a way to avoid that. And you can look up, I'm pretty sure Mishimoto has some different suggestions, some different brackets and stuff like here, so that you guys can have some different mounting solutions. So a pretty cool way to do that.
So this strut kit for 2008 to 2014 STI.
STI,
or
okay,
WX
so
is the same.
the guys that was waiting for those STI parts, Grimspeed hood strut kit, which is nice. The good strut kits that are out there are really helpful on a lot of these vehicles. I bought a set for my R35 that were not the good ones, the worst piece of crap I've ever put on my car. I wish I could read names, warn you guys, but I don't remember that one. But the Grimspeed stuff, it works, it fits, it's good stuff for that, so you don't have to worry about that. We're gonna talk about those tires? Just bring one of them over. We got a set of 4 of these, 20-inch. All right, so we got some 20-inch, 275, 30, 20.
There are 2 different sizes.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a stagger set, right? So this is the rear, 275, 30, 20, and we have a matching height front, which is going to be
245, 35, 20.
Yep, 245, 35, 20. Ditto Inbos. These are new. We were going to run these, but we decided to run a different Nitto tire on this application. So we're not going to be using these, so somebody else should take advantage of these. Good to go on these. All right, what's next?
Still an intake.
Still an intake.
Website?
Website, DSPORTMag.com, DSPORTMag.com/garage sale. This is our first time doing this. We have an interface on our auction interface, which may or may not suck. Don't be too mad at us. This is kind of an experiment. This is our soft launch of doing our garage sale. So thank you guys for joining us today, and hopefully we can have some fun. Now the sun is out. All right, so Q50. So Q50, anybody's got a Q50 out there? Still an intake kit for it. So it's a pretty simple kit. Nice roto-molded covers for the intakes. And that Q50, that's a car we might actually put in our stable here. We've been looking at those things, and they're pretty cool. You know, I typically don't normally like those sedans and stuff like that, but having the VR30 TT engine, it's a pretty interesting platform. So we might get one just because we like the engine so much, and play with that and see what happens. I think we're out of stuff, right, guys? Oh no, wait, we've got the exhaust system, the big stuff. Before we get to the big stuff, any questions, guys? Let me take a drink real quick.
You want to move it over there?
Yeah, let's walk over to them.
All right, let's walk over. Now, here's the good news. Most of the time, you know, you buy an exhaust system and you have no clue about what it sounds like. You have no clue about all the details with it. Well, fortunately, the exhaust systems we have here, these have been part of one of our DSPORT exhaust showcases. So our most recent showcase was on the new Civic Si, the 10th Gen Civic Si. And Kareem, you got all those videos up?
Yes, it's on YouTube.
So you can go to YouTube. We'll put the link or something. I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. However,
I'll add him. I'll add it in there.
But anyways, you can go there and hear what it sounds like, see the horsepower, all that kind of good stuff. Now, just so you know, Civic Si 10th Gen, the exhaust system as far as making horsepower isn't going to do much. Isn't going to do next to it. There's just not a lot to be gained there. And we did the testing, at the time we did the testing on E85 at the highest boost we could run without the engine coming apart with the factory turbo. And even in that configuration, the factory exhaust doesn't really give up any horsepower. So in this sense, you're really going to choose your exhaust system for your 10th Gen Civic Si based on the look and the sound. So that's going to be it. So hopefully with the videos that we put together, you guys can see which one is right for you. Let's talk about one of the more interesting ones, and kind of, this is going to be an interesting purchaser, I think, for this one. MA Performance, they decided to make a system that basically makes 3 different systems for it, and which kind of vary the amount of muffling and sound control that each one has. And they all use the same B pipe, but we only got 1 B pipe, so if you get this system, you're actually going to get all 3 systems, is how we're going to sell it to you. So you guys pick this up. I think, what is there? There's one with no mufflers?
No mufflers, 1 muffler, 2 mufflers. 0, 1, 2.
0, 1, and 2 mufflers.
Yeah, they call it Street, Stealth, and Race.
Street, Stealth, and Race. Okay, so all 3. If you decide to go that way, cool. If you have another friend that has a Civic Si, maybe you can just make another B pipe. Copy that B pipe, and or have a B pipe.
And I'm
made.
sure maybe MA Performance sells the...
MA Performance might sell the B pipes by themselves too. Yeah, so might be a way to get hooked up if you're in a club or something like that with your 10th Gen. Get these set up on 3 of them. So that's one option. Let's get that out of here. And what's another one? ATLP. Okay. So ATLP, interesting looking. Dual tip. And what do we remember about this one? Do you remember anything specific about any characteristic about this one?
Sound beefy.
Uh-huh.
No loss, didn't lose any power,
Right.
obviously. That's about it.
Okay. There you go.
We do have the.
I'll add the links. I'll add the link to the video in this YouTube video too, so people can go and watch all the
Okay,
exhaust
so
we tested.
we'll have
too.
the link to get all these
In the
there.
description, yeah.
One of the things that's going to be wrong, we caught it after the fact. It's going to be wrong in the printed version. I think we'll get it right on the digital version. I hope we remember to fix it. Is when we talk about the construction and the welds, you can see here. This is these are TIG welds here, and these are MIG welds here. So I think we accidentally in everything say TIG welds. Well, some of them have MIG welds. So look at those pictures, and you can tell the difference. If it looks like toothpaste going like this, it's a MIG weld, and if it looks like rolls of dimes laid out nice, it's a TIG weld instead of a MIG weld. MIG weld's the sloppy toothpaste, ugly looking thing.
And that also is much lower than the factory, that one. So, because some other aftermarket ones are almost as much as the factory. This
What do you mean,
one,
as much what?
Lightweight.
weight. Yeah,
weight.
this one is 34 pounds. Opposed to 43 pounds from the factory. And
Okay.
it's also lowered the boost when we tested it.
Okay, cool. So 34 pounds, you save about 9 pounds with this system. It does reduce the restriction. The boost goes down with this one because there's just not as much back pressure in there. So, if we had to do it all over again, or actually the right way to test it is we have to put a turbo upgrade or built in. The fact of the matter is, any of these exhaust systems have enough flow with that stock turbo to max out what the stock turbo can make. Now the boreless system, this is going to be different than what we're typically seeing on most of the aftermarket exhausts on the import side. For one, flanges. You're going to see it doesn't have flanges. They use more of a slip and band clamp solution, which has its pros and has its cons. The nice thing is it allows a little bit more degree of freedom in kind of getting things set up. And the bad thing about it is it allows more degrees of freedom in getting everything set up. So you have to kind of spend a little bit more time lining things up and getting everything dialed in. But once you do, there's really no difference.
Everybody agreed it was the best sounding one, and it's the lightest.
Yeah, so that was the thing about it. Everybody really liked the sound of it. That was amongst the judging group. They really liked the sound of it. It's also one of the lightest ones. So it might be one of the better ones for people out there. Again, MIG welds in most of the locations. I think there's a TIG weld just for the tips. Maybe those are MIG weld. TIG weld probably. They polish it afterwards. But yeah, so Borla not a brand you typically associate with some of the import applications, but definitely a good unique sound to it. So something going on there. And then what do we got here?
Those are the remaining MA Performance.
Oh, okay. So guys, the MA Performance ones we saw a little bit earlier. Some of the different mufflers and tips and stuff. So those are all included. All included. You guys get all 3 versions, so you can actually pick the one you like and figure out what you want to do with the other 2.
Question: any Evo 8 and 9 stuff?
Evo 8 and 9, guys. Good to hear from you. We've got the camshafts, which are misindexed cogless cams. What else do we have? Yeah, right now I think that's it. We'll try to take a look and see what else we got as we go through more of the parts. And what's the next one?
This is actually STI.
Oh, okay, so STI.
Mishimoto.
Which one?
Mishimoto.
Mishimoto exhaust for the STI. The current generation STI, right?
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
2015 plus.
2015 plus. What can you tell me about it, Joe?
Mid-range power, great sound levels.
Great sound levels, mid-range power, good mid-range power.
Never exceeded 90 dB.
Okay.
Lighter weight than most steel exhaust.
Okay.
Not as combination of flanges, V-bands, and slip fittings.
Oh, okay. So they kind of took an approach of whatever's going to work best for each situation. So yeah, I see a V-band there, and they probably have a slip fit and everything
Good
else.
proper fit.
Good fit.
Yep.
And the story for all of these are also online too. We can put the link. later.
Okay. We have videos on that too?
Yes.
Sounds?
Yeah, but-
So we got videos and sounds on the STI exhausts too, so you can hear what this one sounds like.
Reinforcing the steel.
And on that now, they made some power over the stock systems, right?
all of them did.
All of them did, I think, right? Yeah. Let's take a look. We'll get you some power figures, let you know how much better that's going to be than your stock system. And while we're doing that, I'll get into the next system here. Also,
Magnaflow.
Magnaflow.
for which? STIs?
STI.
So these are all STIs?
yes.
Okay, so STIs. This is the Magnaflow exhaust for the STI. Take a look at that. See the tips and stuff. MIG welds. And we'll get you some of the specs and stuff like that. So first off on the Mishimoto, what was that?
Mishimoto, kind of made over 15 horsepower at like mid-range and over 10 horsepower
At peak. Okay.
no, at the top end.
At the top end. So 10 horsepower at the top, 15 in the mid-range.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Roughly.
Roughly somewhere in that
It's a whole chart.
And then we got the Magnaflow one here. Oh, how much is this one going for? Don't think we set any of these prices. Are they set up on that? We're gonna check, guys. So, how's everyone doing out there? You guys maintaining your, I think is it called?
Sanity?
Social
Washing
distance.
hands.
You know the stupidest term that they're saying on TV right now is abundance of caution. Okay, I don't have regular TV right now, so I have to get my news through Netflix. So I'm stuck with CBS Live, and CBS Live keeps telling me, each newscaster, that they're broadcasting from their local thing because, you know, their national headquarters had several people come down with. How is that out of your house when it's on fire? That's pretty stupid. Anyways,
Mishimoto, buy it now is 900, but you can bid on it. And,
okay, $900 on the Mishimoto. Buy it now.
The Magnaflow.
Bid on it. And the Magnaflow.
Magnaflow, buy it now is 675.
$675 on the Magnaflow. Any of the performance numbers on the Magnaflow or anything you can tell us about that?
Yes, so the Magnaflow. It did well in the mid-range, 4,500 RPM area.
Uh-huh.
And
Did well. How much horsepower, like?
that's about in the mid-range, about 10,
10 in the
maybe
mid-range?
8.
Okay.
And then at the top, it was about 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Okay.
Someone's asking what the eBay shop account is, so just tell them we're selling it on the website first.
Yeah, we're not doing eBay this time. We're trying to plug in with our website, dsportmag.com/garage sale. dsportmag.com/garage sale. We're trying to not use an eBay because of the commissions and stuff associated with eBay. But if this plugin really sucks, we're probably going to use eBay next time. So it's an experiment. This is the first time out. Hopefully this plugin works halfway decent, so that everybody can save some money. And if not, we'll do it for eBay. Yeah.
Remark?
Remark.
900, that's for the STI.
STI.
It's about 900, buy it now, or you can bid on it. It made great power.
$900, buy it now. Okay.
It made at the top end, it made over 13 horsepower.
13 at
Mid-range,
the top.
it made about. It made over 10 at some point. Yeah, it was between 10 and then it kind of
Okay.
went up at the high end.
Okay. And somebody actually got it nice and boxed up. I'm not going to pull it out. You guys can see the video and stuff online.
This guy saying, didn't know DSPORT Mag sold parts.
We don't normally sell parts, but we have to do some spring cleaning here. Our warehouse is just overflowing with project car parts, used parts, parts that we've done testing on, and you know, need to make some room with. So we decided to do this. Hopefully, it's entertaining you guys a little bit and giving you guys a couple opportunities to save some money picking up your car. And let's see. We got 4 minutes left for Q&A. Any Q&A, any topic, whatever you guys want, let us know. And if we still have a signal, well, we got to test it out. I was gonna say we could go over to the machine shop and look at some stuff, but I bet you we're gonna lose like all of the signals while we walk over there, and then you guys are gonna be mad. So we're not gonna do that today. We'll test that ahead of time. But any questions on anything that we saw today? Cool. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to spend with us and look at some of the stuff that we found in our warehouse. We're going to be digging and cleaning more and seeing what we have in there. If there's things that you guys are looking for, let us know. Used parts, new parts, whatever you guys are looking for, let us know, and we'll try to track some down. And hopefully be seeing you guys again. Kareem, we're doing this every week, or what's the plan?
Yes, we could do every Friday.
Okay, every
See how it
Friday. All
goes.
right, so join us next Friday. We're going to gather some more parts together and try to
Another
answer-
question real quick.
Oh,
Any R33 parts?
What type of R33 parts?
Goodness
I
sakes.
mean, yes, we have some R33 parts.
Oh, Mazda speed parts.
Mazda Speed. Oh,
Oh,
Mazda
it's
Speed free?
another. It's another.
Oh, Mazda Speed. Mazda
Do we have any
Speed
Mazda
free?
Speed? No.
No. But we should have some R33 parts. I'll take a look and see what we can dig up.
RB26 engine parts.
RB26 engine parts, we got plenty. We got plenty. I think we got it. That all need to be gone through and sorted and see which ones are complete crap, which ones are rebuildable, or which ones are good to go.
Where can they email us on? What can email us on? Inbox at hardmediainc.com.
Yeah, I guess just use inbox at hardmediainc.com.
You can also message us on Instagram,
Yeah, or
Facebook.
just message us on the
Yeah.
Instagram.
Probably
or-
easier.
Yeah, it's probably easier, and then we can get back to you that way.
And the big Sunday at 10 p.m.
Bidding ends Sunday at 10 p.m. So put your bids in. How does this auction thing work? Like, can you see other people's bids and know what the current bid is and all that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
And it's basically at reserve, so whatever, if you bid on something, you're probably gonna get it unless someone outbids you.
Okay. Cool. So hopefully you guys heard that. And let us know your experience, like what you like, what you don't like about it, because if we can change anything about the format and what we're doing, we'll do it. We want to make it better. We want to make it entertaining and informative and whatever we can do for you guys. So
You guys are hiring for a staff writer.
hiring for staff writer. Maybe.
We have,
maybe.
yeah.
All depends. You know, our writers and stuff, we tend to hire people not as much based on their journalism and writing skills, more based on their knowledge and ability to do testing and stuff like that, and ability to do research. And I would love to find somebody that can, you know, do more tech to non-tech type stuff, to free up some of my time, or just people that are really good at testing and stuff like that. You know, once we get past all of this that we have going on, and we're able to do more stuff face to face and stuff like that, you know, we're talking about, you know, the staff and stuff is talking about doing maybe some summer internship stuff. Might have to start here this summer, but you know, some things there where if people want to learn more about, you know, doing things editorially, you know, with editorial, or doing things with marketing or video production, or any of the things that we do here, engine building. If people have interest in that, you know, let us know, and we'll see if there's opportunities. You know, we've done programs in the past where people have been able to get their college credit for some classes and stuff. So, anything else, guys?
Subscribe to
Subscribe. That's right. If you guys are out there, make sure you subscribe to us. You can do it on DSPORTMag.com. It's one of the ways that we're able to keep the lights on here, especially during this challenging time. You know, it means more now than ever before to get that subscription revenue in. As a lot of the, you know, as you guys know, a lot of the companies out there are struggling, and you know, it just trickles down to everybody. So
support our advertising.
yeah, support our advertisers, support our subscriptions, and you know, as soon as we see the light at the end of this tunnel, you know, and if you save that $1,200, we're going to help you spend it the right way. So But make sure, wait till we see the end of the tunnel. Don't go out there and buy, you know, Nikes and car parts only. You know, let's make sure we're past everything before we do that.
Someone is begging to hear the Fiesta run. Should I get it started?
Fiesta run. You know what? We'll do it next time.
Okay.
Because I think we have to put the jumper back on it, so I don't want to
Gotcha.
go run back and forth.
Cool.
Yes, the batteries are not charged right now. So, but yeah, we could do that next time. All right. Thank you guys for taking the time. We'll be back again next Friday and maybe next week, Wednesday. Cream, Wednesday. All right, Wednesday. Cream says Wednesday. He's shaking his head up and down. He's not. I'm telling you to. All right. Anyway, Wednesday we're gonna do we'll do a tech deal. So it's just we'll pick a topic. I don't know. Maybe we'll do 2JZ versus RB, so people can know the difference.
It's gonna get ugly.
Yeah, it'll get ugly. Gosh, so many fanboys on both sides. Just don't know what to do. They're both good engines, guys. Okay. But yeah, maybe we'll do that next week. And or if you guys got topic ideas, hit us up. Let us know what you guys don't understand. You know, the more you guys understand, the more you buy the right parts. And you know, getting a $25 subscription through us, I guarantee you're going to save more than that by becoming educated and buying the right parts. We'll save you thousands over the course of your tuning experience. So anyways, have a good one, guys. Keep safe, and we'll see you next week.